Today we're in beautiful Loire Valley in the center of France, and we're doing a field testing of this new URIKAN product, a 20 to 60 time scope. So URIKAN is a French brand that's rather new, and they produce very high quality optics, including binoculars and scopes. I actually have tested their binoculars in Mongolia. You can see the review on my channel, and I was stunned by the quality, and compared to high-end binoculars like Swarovski, for example, well, they were incredibly good. So at the recent Nature Festival of Montillon-d'Air, I met again with my friends at GMT Outdoor, the distributor, and they asked me if I wanted to review this scope, which is a new product. I've not done Digiscopy before, but I was very interested in the potential, and I know the optics are good at URIKAN, so I accepted, and here I am with the new products, the new scope, the 20 to 60 times, that's made for bird observation, but for myself, I'm really interested in seeing whether I can use it for videos, nature videos, maybe even insects and dragonflies and butterflies. So what's in the box? We don't do unboxing, so just what's in the box with these products, rather simple. You have the scope and the ocular and a couple of caps, and then a very nice neoprene coat that we're going to use later on in this video, and that's pretty much it. And kindly GMT Outdoor supplied me also with an adapter for the phone, the Vanguard P65, which I'm going to use later, and that fits perfectly here. All this video is going to be done with a phone, the filming and the Digiscopy. So what about the specs of the scope? Size about 40 centimeters, weight is 1,700 grams. It's a 20 to 60 times magnification with a front lens of 80 millimeters and an ocular of 40 millimeters. Two rings, one for magnification, one for focus, and below there's a nice Arca plate foot to set it up on a tripod. So we're gonna head to another location to put it to good use, and let's go. So we're at our next location, which is the Bioparc in Douai-la-Fontaine in the center of France. This is one of the top zoos in France, and it's set up in a beautiful location. These are former stone quarries, and all the animal enclosures are actually set up like this, as you see behind me. The pink flamingos. This is an aviary, for example, so there are nets over my head, and the animals just are free within the enclosures. So it's a very nice zoo. As you can see, I'm by myself. I have the zoo to myself today because I have some connections here, and they allowed me to just be free in the zoo the whole day if I want. So it's fantastic. So I'm going to set up my scope and start doing videos and photos of the animals in the zoos. So you see, this scope is so powerful. I've really stepped back to film the birds, especially since I'm using the 3 times lens, the 3 times telephoto lens, to get the full image in the camera. I'm half deaf because the parrots are screaming so hard, and I'm going to move to another location to probably get some shots of the parrots again. I can go up there, and then we'll move to another enclosure. So I'm now at the max, 60 times magnification on this, I think it looks like a stork, probably an African stork. And this guy's not moving, so I was able to focus. And sorry for the little shake, because the wind is blowing actually and moving my tripod a bit. But the clarity I have in the phone is spectacular. And I'm going to take a few photos and we'll see how they turn out. I'm with the Lions now, and a few thoughts about using the scope here. I found the clarity of the optics absolutely remarkable, and I've had no issue at all focusing or finding my subjects, etc. What I've been doing is using the 3x lens on my phone, and it was difficult to focus actually and find the subjects because there's too much magnification. So I'm going to switch to the 1x lens and see what happens. I'll have vignetting and I'll have the black circle around my image, and I'll try to crop in post so we can see what happens. But they will be a bit easier. Right now I probably have too much magnification, although at a distance of maybe 30-40 meters I get you know, the eye of a bird in full frame in the phone. It's fantastic. Okay, so here's the rhino, but it's too close. You should move away, please. It's very quiet now, no visitors, so it's probably wondering what I'm doing here. So the rhino is not cooperating. It's not around here now, all the way down there, and it's also with its back to the sun, so it's been difficult. I tried some shots, but it's not working out. But that's, you know, wildlife, and it's all right. I'm gonna look for other animals, maybe the cheetahs now. I've set up the scope in a different way. The phone is still there, but the phone is set up now with a 1x lens, as I said, and I'm trying to zoom a bit, about 1.5 times digitally, to just get rid of the dark corners, the vignetting, and get as much of the image in the frame as I can. So we'll see what it gives in the post-production. And what I'm going to do now is try that on other animals and compare that with the setup I used this morning for the birds. Okay, can you see the cheetah there? Probably not. It's all the way there between the two trees, and it's difficult to see. So that's where Digiscopy is going to take all its meaning here. This enclosure, it's huge, it's 1 hectare. And I'm going to try to digiscope the cheetahs from far away, from a long distance, to see the kind of result I can get with this 20-60 scope. So here I am with the cheetahs, and they're the perfect subject. Look at this. Wow. I'm at the maximum magnification right now. The good point is that if you unzoom, you keep your focus. Sorry about the shake, there's a bit of wind. So I'm going to slightly decrease the magnification so you can see. It's kind of a shaking. Okay, all right. Okay, now about 40 times. And if I unzoom a bit more, change my settings again, about 30 times magnification. It's beautiful. Look at this. This guy is posing for me, and it's going now. So let's move back to 20 times, change the video setting again, and here I am. Okay, so you can see the dark area around the images, but I can also slightly zoom in manually and get back my full frame image. So you have to find the right setting. It's not easy, I think, Digiscopy, but with the right setting you can get these beautiful images of wildlife, and I certainly wouldn't want to be closer to the cheetah than I am right now. The cheetahs are gone. Before I head back, I want to tell you a bit about the conservation activities of the zoo. Unlike many zoos, they don't only display animals, but they have very strong policy of conservation and supporting NGOs all over the world to do in situ conservation of species. And that's very commendable, and it's not often the case with all zoos. So the Bioparc here supports, I don't know how many organizations in all over the world, and they support them financially. And last year only, they gave away €500,000 to all these organizations to promote conservation. So that's very commendable, and I believe they do a lot of good in that respect for species protection and environment protection.
Only a few weeks after we came back home, we took another trip to San Francisco, and I took the scope along because I knew that I would be able to use the scope right in the middle of the city where birds are abundant and can be easily approached, and I wanted to try the scope under different conditions. But this time I used my Nikon Z6 with an adapter which I bought directly in the US to try and get better images rather than using my phone again as I had done in the Bioparc. And after we came back, it was late spring in France, so I went to the local park near my house to try and get some more footage with the scope, and I ended up getting some pretty good sequences with the local ducks, the cormorants, and even a few European bee eaters, which made a brief showing in the park.
So it's summer now, and I've been using this URIKAN scope for more than 6 months, so it's time to summarize my findings and my experience with it. If you are into birding or wildlife observation, this will be a fantastic tool for you. This scope is great, it's very well made, controls are smooth, optics are very clear, sharp image, and it's great value for the price because it's also very competitively priced. So I highly recommend this if you're into wildlife or bird observation. Definitely a great purchase. However, if you're a photographer, this is more of a mixed bag. I'm not totally convinced with the Digiscopy, I must say, not because of the quality of the scope, but because of the technique in general. I got somewhat good results with my phone and with my Nikon, but definitely the quality of the images is not on par with what you get with a good telephoto lens. It could be due to the sensor size. It could also be due to interference from the atmosphere, whatever. You don't get the same images that you get with a good telephoto, but the reach of this is unmatched. At 60 times, you're equivalent to 3,000 millimeters focal length, and definitely something that you can't reach with the real, the normal telephoto lens. So this will have uses. Definitely when you want to maybe get some pictures or for a record or record some video of a really far away animal, you can still use that, as you've seen in the videos I've made. Another thing is, when I went above 40 times magnification, I observed degradation of image quality. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the optics, maybe it's the atmosphere. In any case, between 40 and 60, images were not as good as below 40. So that's something to consider. And also, this scope shows very strong chromatic aberration under bright light conditions. If you film, for example, in a bright day where there's a lot of sun, you get very strong color fringing, both in photo and video, and that's a problem. It's difficult to remove in post, and that really degrades your image quality. So I'd recommend to use this on slightly cloudy days, if possible, for filming the best video and doing the best photos, so you don't get as much fringing. That's obviously an optical aberration. Other than that, it's a fantastic tool, and I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep using it, definitely. I want to thank again URIKAN and GMT Outdoor for the loan of the product, and I'll see you guys in upcoming videos. Bye!